gentlemen, welcome to another captivating episode of Spark Igniting Minds. Today we have the distinct honor of hosting none other than Jayant Kaikini, a literary titan whose name resonates throughout Karnataka and beyond. Jayant Kaikini is a multifaceted personality renowned as Karnataka's most celebrated lyricist, storyteller, short story writer, playwright, columnist, editor, scriptwriter, and poet. Other than his literary contributions, he has also lent his creative genius to the world of cinema, penning unforgettable songs for blockbuster movies like Mungaru Male, Milana, Galipata, and many more cinemas. Kaikini has won numerous prestigious awards, including the Kusumagraja National Literary Award, 4 times Karnataka Sahitya Academy Award, 5 times Filmfare Awards. He is the first Kannadiga to receive International Literary Award. He won DSC Award for No Presents Please. His recent book Mithun 2, a continuation of No Presents Please, is a collection of Mumbai stories translated by Tejaswini Niranjana. Truly, Jayant Kaikini, a towering figure in the vibrant tapestry of Kannada literature, and his creative genius knows no bounds. It is an honor to have him with us today.
Namaskara, Jayant sir. I'm so happy today because after asking for so many months, finally you have come for our interview. I welcome you to Spark Igniting Minds.
Thank you so much, Capt.Sahana. So, because I have also been waiting for this, and more it was postponed. I was feeling good. Because otherwise it will be over. So at last I met today, and I like this name, Igniting Minds and Spark, that's, and I like sparkling wine also. So, that spark word itself has something sparkling about it. Yeah, something to igniting new thought, See, man is thought, nothing but, if there is thought, there is a man, there is a human being, there is a person. So I like this space where so many people have come. I have listened to your programs, so many programs, interviews. So I'm very happy to be with you today.
Thank you very much, sir. So my first question to you is, I would like to consider you as a Renaissance writer, because whatever you write, whether it is a lyric writing, songwriting, or your short story, or your drama, you write in something in a different way other than, when I read other authors, yours I find it quite different. It is very innovative, I can say. So, how do you write, sir? What is your opinion on this?
And I'm happy that you are finding it interesting. See, okay. I always feel everybody has his own worldview, his own style. Like even while sleeping, everyone sleeps in his own style.
Correct.
Everyone's handwriting is unique.
Correct.
Everyone's, so I look at something, I don't know how exactly the same thing you are looking at, Okay. It might be a little different, So that's why more and more a person, the person's personal element comes into the writing. Then it becomes interesting for others.
For every writer, whatever he is inside, that comes out in his writing.
Absolutely.
He cannot, cut off from his own personality and write something else other than.
Because the basic purpose of writing is to know life, understand life.
Yes.
When I write something, or anybody, I think, we write to understand life. That's what, because, I always keep telling, there was a senior writer called Yashwant Chittal, whom I always adore, Kannada, my mentor. Yeah. He always said, I don't write what I know, I write to know. I like that, because when I say I write what I know, it will be very arrogant thing, because I know something people don't know I am writing. No, he says, while through writing, I try to know life, understand life.
Correct. As writers, when we start writing, we don't know what we are going to write further.
Absolutely.
Okay. The first line that we write, we never know what comes next.
Yes, exactly. The unknown next line is the inspiration for the writing line.
So we are going into the unknown.
Yeah.
But when I come to the lyric writing, you were a writer from past how many years?
Almost 50 years.
50 years you
Yeah.
have written. After that, I think when you took into this songwriting, when you wrote for cinemas, you became very popular. Is it not so? When you wrote for Mungaru Male, and after writing Mungaru Male songs, your popularity, everybody came to know who is Jayant Kaikini, what he is about. So that really inspires me. And how did you get into this lyrical writings and all from your short story and all that?
Yeah. See, that short story, poetry, prose, literary writing, literary exploration is going on now also. My books are still coming. But this cinema thing happened just accidentally. Because I had shifted from Bombay to Bangalore, and then I had met Yogaraj Bhatt. Yeah, actually, first the stint was for a film called Chiguri the Kanasu. It is by Rajkumar Home Production. It is based on a novel by Shivram Karant, and it was filmed with Shivraj Kumar in 2002 or 3, I think. And at that time,
before Mungaru Male,
yes, much before. Yeah, 3-4 years earlier. For that film, Nagabharana was the director for that, and they wanted a writer to come and do the script work, because mainstream writer, because they thought Shivram Karant's novel, literary piece. So they thought that should not be violation. So instead of a regular film writers, they approached me, a writer. So that's how I came to this field. And there I wrote one song called, I had come from Bombay, so I knew Hindi. So they said there is a bilingual song in that film. Oh Ajare anta ಒಂದು ಹಾಡಿದೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ. So that Oh Ajare song they wanted me to write, because I could write one line in Hindi, one line in Kannada, one line in Hindi, one line in Kannada. So after that I was back into my writing and doing other things. But then after a few years, Yogaraj Bhatt came to me for Mungaru Male to asking me to write songs. I said I have never written songs. By chance I wrote a couple of songs, but he said no, because he was a fan of my writing, like my short stories. So he came based on that, and he said we want a ghazal kind of a feel in a song. So since you know ghazals and your emotional world is different, just try. So I wrote that first song Anisutide for Mungaru Male. He liked. Then he said write another song from a female point of view. I wrote Aralutiru. Then he said there is a duet in this thing. I wrote Kunidu Kunidu Bare. So these 3 songs I wrote for Mungaru Male. So, and it became suddenly hit, which we also didn't expect. He also didn't expect. Yeah. So it's nice, suddenly, one film which is made by newcomers, and it was like, sometimes suddenly guests come home. We are not prepared. Whatever is there in the fridge and all, we make quickly something, some aulakki or uppittu. It becomes very tasty. Okay. So that product was like that. It was done with more of love than lot of infrastructure and other things. So it was good. It gave me a new career. At that time, I was looking for some job.
Even the cinema also got a new type of songs.
Yeah.
There was a revolution in songs, I can say, after you started writing. Because you write in a very different kind, and lot of depth is there, emotion is there, and it's not very easy to write a song. That's what you have been saying. I've been listening in.
Yeah, because there we have
because it is like catching some lightning into a bottle. It is so difficult.
Exactly, because it is to be written for a pre-composed composition. It is not that I write a song and somebody gives music. No, music is already composed in cinema. Nobody knows about it. Many people think we write, give, and they put tune. No, tune is already done, composed. You see old photographs in film pages of Filmfare or Stardust. Music director will be sitting with a harmonium. Lyric writer will be there. Singer will be there. See, he will compose na 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 like that. He will.
On the spot, you should start.
Earlier they used to do. Now the technology is there. They make a tune and they send to me. So based on the tune, based on the situation, you have to write. And another challenge is there are thousands and millions of songs in India.
Correct.
And all songs, most of them are about love.
Yes.
So what new thing you can tell about love? That is the most challenging thing. Same love. You have to tell something new. You should sound something fresh.
Flavors,
something,
new forms, in new
Yeah.
sizes, in new types.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what you have been doing, and it's amazing work, I can say.
Thank you,
And
thank you.
Every Kannadiga resonates with all your songs.
I'm really touched by your compliments. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Which is your favorite song, sir? You have written so many songs.
No,
Which is your favorite?
then it keeps changing. It keeps changing. It keeps changing.
Okay.
Yeah. For some time it
So
was. Yeah.
At this point of time, which is your favorite?
No, my all-time favorite is there is one song in Moggina Manasu, Male Baruva Hagide. It's a Manomurthy composition. It's in I think Rag Yaman Kalyan, I think so. So that song I like. Of course, Ninindale, Minchagi Ninu Baralu, Ee Sanjay Yakagide, these are all there. And the latest is I have enjoyed writing for Maniratnam's film Ponniyin Selvan, Kannada
You
version.
have written for both
Yeah,
parts,
PS1 and PS2. It was a different kind of a challenge to me. Rahman's music, and it was outstanding. And it's a period film. And I had not written that kind of a Kannada, because when it is a period film, historical film, so then your language becomes different. Yeah, so I enjoy writing those songs also. So it keeps changing. Yeah.
So when coming to from songwriting, let's move on to the short story writing. And one more thing about lyrical writing about us. I like this song Kagadada Doni.
Oh, yeah.
I was somewhere because I was away from Karnataka for so many years. When I came, I mean, all my children and their cousins, they always used to sing this song.
Oh.
Really, I used to love that.
And
I
see
want
that
to-
song, even we
How
never.
did you write that song, sir? It's
See,
really beautiful.
So that came at the last moment. I think they had already, that Rishabh Shetty, Rakshit Shetty group, they had already done the Kirik party, had play, because last moment they came to me. They had a song done, but they were not happy, I think. Then they came to me, then I wrote, and it was like most of we youngsters, when we were young, we have gone through that, the moment of undecisive thing, not knowing what to do next. Everywhere, whatever, whatever I try to do, something doesn't work out. What next? So that mindset, I have been doing it since last 2 decades. I tried so many, after coming from Bombay to here, I was an editor for a magazine, then I was doing television, then I was doing lyric writing. See, so many things I tried. So that kind of a thing, So I was, I know that uncertainty, the fear of unknown tomorrow. So that was, it's every man, that come. And I tell you one thing, because lyrics, see, I always tell, in film you have a background music, right? When you see a film, songs are there, but still there is a background music. Full films, emotions are amplified by that background score. But film songs, are background score for our lives actually, actual lives. Because we have been listening to film songs since our childhood.
Yes.
So each song will remind us our that stage, So, it is like in India especially, the film songs, film music are like a background score and motivational force for a common man to push his life. Like in you see Rigger Gang, when they push some heavy things, they say "Jor laga ke aisa, jor laga ke aisa." Same way, we sing film songs to push our lives. See, we hum songs. We don't know. We are not singers. We are not trained singers. We are not gone to classes. But we hum them. We hum to ourselves. My father used to tell, "Gonaguvudukinta gunuguvudu melu." Gonaguvudu means grumbling. Instead of grumbling, better you hum some songs. So you are, it will give you energy. That's why lyrics have, no other industry in the world has legacy of film songs like Indian film songs, because it has come from theatre background. In English and other countries,
This is a wow for them.
and for other countries, they have special musical films like My Fair Lady, or very only specific. Only few films will be there where music is a thing. In India, every film has music.
So from songs, when we move to the short stories, even your short stories, each short story is so intense. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅದನ್ನೇನಂತಾರೆ ಸಂವೇದನಾಶೀಲ ಬರವಣಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಈವನ್ ವೆನ್ ಐ ಫೆಲ್ಟ್ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ನ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಗ್ರೌಂಡೆಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ನನಗನ್ಸೋದು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹೌ ಡಿಡ್ ಯು ಈವನ್ ವೆನ್ ಯು ವೆಂಟ್ ಟು ಬಾಂಬೆ, ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಆಲ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮುಂಬೈ ಸ್ಟೋರೀಸ್ ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ, ಆ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ನ ಹೌ ಡಿಡ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾಚ್ ದೋಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ Bombay is a city of vibrancy and also of chaos.
Yeah.
Is it not?
Yeah.
So
that's why.
Written on very characters like somebody in a theater that rolling there is one
this gatekeeper.
Gatekeepers is there.
Yeah.
And so
many
kind of fields you have chosen, personalities you have chosen. And how did you go really into their minds and catch their psychology? That's really
see, it's all depends how you look at it, if you feel you are outside them, you won't get it. You should be one with them. The sense of empathy, sense of compassion, we are all one. Moment suppose I'm in a privileged position, I'm a writer, I have to write about hard-working people, then you will not get. I should feel I'm a link in a larger network. So Bombay is like that, suddenly when from a small town, see, the point is, I have gone from a small town, I have gone to a big city. First thing is I should get lost. That's what I tell young writers. It's not like I'll write about him. They already become part of you. It's like, when in our school, I used to see a magician who will come and eat all colorful papers, pink, blue, and everything he will eat. He will drink water also. Then he will start pulling threads. A ribbon of papers and writing is like that. You have to just mindlessly experience it. So writing comes from the subconscious mind, from where your dreams also come. Because any experience leaves its mark as an image in your mind, as a metaphor in your mind. If you dream, same way, when you write, they all come. So if you love the life, all these people, your co-travelers, you love. So they will just come when you are writing.
You felt they are all like your co-travelers.
Of course, they are all. And the entire Bombay life is like the life itself is like a public transport. That's what I like. That's why I like that.
That metaphor I really like.
See, that public, it is like a public transport. There is no much space, but you are in a window seat. Luckily, you can see beyond. You can see beyond the present. So that's why I like. And it is a city of plurality. Plurality. So many 2,000 languages in India. All people are there. 2,000 people read. Riti, Rivaju, Nambike. They all are together. That's why people come to. Bombay is a model for entire country. That's why Westerners come here, finding it spiritual. Spiritualism cannot be found on Himalayas or this thing. It is found in Victoria Terminus Station on a, waiting, like on hospital or general ward outside OPD. That's where it happens, because there are so many people around you, and there is a connection. People are very, they don't hide anything. It's like having 10 people having bath together in an open place. Nothing to hide. It's transparent. So then it is, automatically there will be so many people, so many characters, so many situations. So many people think it is, imagination. They think imagination chanagide. You don't have to imagine life.
It's not imagination, you're writing real.
It is there.
stories.
It is there. If you see, if you are climbing let us say, you are catching a bus, and you see a small baby shoe, single baby shoe, dropped from some baby's foot. It is lying on the step. It evokes some feeling in you. At the same time, you will think, Papa, Magu, Kalali, innondu shoe onde ide alla alli anta. Alva? Idu yardo eno. See, these are the moments, These are the moments which stay with us. Like Rangoli, you put dots, no? Then you draw the lines. Same way, these are the moments which are like dots for any person. Some people write, some people don't write. People don't write, read, and they can connect it. That's all. I think I should not talk more about my own writing, but since you are interested in the process, I said my process is like that. And there are two kinds of writers. Some people plan their writings. They know what they are going to write. They plan everything, first scene to last scene. Especially now, novel, you need that, It's a big thing. It's like a test match. Mine is 20-20 over match, short stories. So I am not that. I just go where my story.
Once you start, you finish it and then only.
Yeah. And so I listen to the story. I don't make story listen to me. I listen to the story. I go where it
Your
starts.
hand tells you a story.
Yeah, the story tells no stop. Leave me here. So I leave it there. That's how it is.
The process itself is very nice, you can say. And in those stories also, not only about the characters, even the language that you have used, very simple language. And then again, you have used lot of colloquial words, ಆಡು ಭಾಷೆ ಅದನ್ನು ತುಂಬ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ. And it really touches. Because we feel ಅಲ್ವಾ ಅದರಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದಂಗೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಸಿಚುಯೇಷನ್ ನಾವು ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಥರ ಒಂದು ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So that is very nice.
Because that language also, see, each city has its own expression. ಈಗ ಬಾಂಬೆಗೆ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ, I love that city. It is a city of plurality, but it speaks in singular. See, in Hindi, आप आइए जाइए वो सब, बट बॉम्बे में आप नहीं है, जैसे तेरे को मेरे को, in singular. See, because everybody is working there, working city it is. So I like that. It is a city of plurality which speaks in singular. I really well. And multilingual, no? So many languages. I am a Konkani speaker at home. My mother tongue is Konkani. And when I was in Bombay, I will talk in Hindi in my in train. In my office, I will talk in Marathi to my colleague, Gujarati in my colleague. And with my seniors, I might talk in English. I come back home and write in Kannada in the night. So many languages happen. And my characters, Dagdu, Parab, Antariksh Kothari, Keku, Pyarelal, Dumpy, you take anybody, Rocket Tejbali.
None of what kind of a names it is. We haven't heard of those.
Because they are not, they are not Kannadigas. They are not Kannadigas. See, first thing what I do is, those characters break that linguistic mold. Moment you bring a name with some connotations to some language, then he comes with a baggage. Suppose Dagdu Paraba, I had named him Venkatesha. Suddenly already something you have image in your mind.
You want to...
Yeah, suddenly some baggage comes.
Something very
Here, now you will be interested only with a human interest. You will be pure human interest. What that soul is doing. What is happening to that soul. That's the technique I do. So nobody noticed it, so I am telling it myself.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಅದು ದಗಡು ಪರವನ
Ashwamedha, yeah.
And there also your imagination has gone wild.
Like that horse.
Like the horse, even your imagination has gone very wild.
Yeah, correct.
And the groom goes everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah. He ultimately he marries somebody else somewhere. Yeah.
Like all your stories for that matter. Like we expect something. Now, in one of the stories, I was expecting these two will run away. They have gone to the station now, and at the last minute, I see this girl is going somewhere else, and that boy is
Interval. Yes, correct.
That movie,
Interval, Madhyantara. Correct.
And really, I was expecting something, and something else happened there. So that kind of ending that you give, really keeps the audience, curious, and we draw our own conclusions after the story.
Correct. Because then again, see, it's all about possibilities, no? Yeah. The writing is all about possibilities.
Yes.
One person, so many possibilities could be there, but we are into one situation. Suppose there was a possibility like this. What will happen? That's what his writing is all about. A kind of compassionate empathy, imagination, possibility. So I want to end a story at a point where it should leave with a new possibility, So that's how I look at it. I don't want to seal it there. Then there is no point,
that is what we call as cliffhanger in English, I think.
Yeah.
Because this, when I see Dan Brown's books, and he's very, very expert, he's an expert in that. Leaving cliffhangers. That is leaving the curiosity of the audience to go to the next book, next chapter, next something like that.
Yeah.
So that's wonderful, sir. And again, when I come to some of your Bombay, you love Bombay like anything. I said, after 25 years you had been in Bombay. And you started your life from Gokarna. Gokarna was your birthplace. And then you studied in Dharwad.
Yeah, Kumta and Dharwad. Kumta College, Dharwad for post-graduation.
Kumta
Yeah.
College and
Dharwad.
Harvard, you did your post-graduation and you came out with a gold medal there, I think.
Which has become gold medal now. Yeah, I did my MSc in biochemistry at that time. Yeah.
So these, so many cities you have seen, and how would you like to explain in your own words which city was how to you?
Yeah, see, smaller town to bigger town, like epicenter, my epicenter is Gokarna. Going little away was Kumta. So it was a college and it was a culture shock to me from Kannada medium till 10th to English medium and small town to bigger town, home to hostel staying. So it was little funny. At that time, my self-esteem was very low because we were not understanding what's happening in the classrooms because of medium of instruction change. Then I started this, writing, reading poetry in functions, taking part in drama, all these extracurricular activities. No,
You went from Kannada medium and
To
you
in-
won a gold medal.
Yeah, so because once you are into it, it's like once you are into any course, then 5 years of graduation, no, you get tuned to it. Then 2 years MSc. So then you get tuned to it. That is different. But our self-esteem was threatened. So I did all these extracurricular activities, which gave me this thing. Self-esteem was good. So
You build up your
yeah,
confidence. Yes.
absolutely. And Dharwad was a cultural center at that time, like Mysore for you people here. All writers, musicians, everything were in Dharwad, like in Mysore. So there were all the good role models, poet like Bendre were there, Kadmi, so many people were there, musicians, Bale Khan, Ustad, Sitar, all those people were there. We were watching programs, listening to the talks. So it was nice. Then suddenly for us, we are North Karnataka, no? I am from Gokarna, North Karnataka, North Uttar Kannada, North Kannada district. For all coastal people like us, obvious choice to go after education was to Bombay at that time. There was Bangalore.
So Gokarna also.
Yeah, everybody, even Bangalore, Udupi, everybody we went. Because Bangalore was not a job hub then. It happened in last 3 days.
India, they go to Dubai.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Exactly. We go to, So we used to go to Bombay. Bombay, go with a certificates and a small bag and stay with some relatives' place or some earlier senior students who had gone and settled there. So I had so many senior students of my Kumta college who had settled there. So one Mr. Prabhu was there. I went and stayed with me, Srinivas Prabhu. He was my classmate in Kumta college. But he had, after no, not that. He is another Prabhu from Bhatkal. He went after BSc to Bombay and he started working in a lead factory there. But I went for MSc biochemistry and all. So after 3 years, I had to go and stay with him and find my job. He helped me then. So like that, there was Sharat Saukur, very senior to me, my another friend. He was working in a bank and my relatives were there. So that's how, that big city, I found it very intimate. It welcomed me. And Bombay is a working city, so it is not a fussy city. It will not show off, but it will accept you. It's a friendly city. Everybody has a smile on his face. You can talk to him, you can indulge in any conversation with him. So that way, I loved that city. And again, mainly because it transcended me from all these small barriers, caste, creed, class, everything. Everybody, even now at midnight, Autowala gives you exact change back.
It's a metropolitan
City, and that is important because he respects your money because he knows you are also hardworking like him. So it is not like, see, there will be few people who exploit everywhere. There will be there, but majority of them respect your money because they think they know you are a hardworking fellow. And minimal place, small places, small houses. So when the spaces are minimal, there is no space for accumulation. You don't accumulate unwanted things. So you become transparent. So that way I love that space. That's why it occupies major of my fiction. Of course, Bangalore is there, Gokarna is there, Goa, everything comes in my stories. But Bombay comes as a character. It comes as a kind of a space where my characters can come to life. I love that space.
But language also, I think when you are writing, that Dharwad language influence and Gokarna influence, all that is there. No?
Yeah. Because there is a story called Kutni Kulavi and couple of Pammechana Shivaratri where Dharwad characters come. It happens in Dharwad.
I saw that natak also.
Sevanti Prasanga. Sevanti Prasanga. Correct.
I could see that Dharwad language, that slum language.
Yeah, that is My Fair Lady actually. It was the Kannada Rupantara of My Fair Lady. That is Bernard Shaw's Pygmalion. It was made into a My Fair Lady film, which was a very well-known film. I used that script of that film and made it for Neena Samtirugata repertory. So it went to all cities in Karnataka. It was done in, I think, 1987 or 88. So
it was a fantastic play. I really enjoyed
So it was again a linguistic thing, what is pure, like we sometimes become very unnecessarily very adamant about class and non-class and this, no. Language is meant for communication and expression. You cannot say this is the right language.
Sir, again, when we come to your poetry, ನನಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪೊಯಿಟ್ರಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಕೆಲವು ತುಂಬಾ ಒಂಥರ ಹೃದಯಕ್ಕೆ ಹತ್ತಿರವಾದಂಗೆ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ ಕೆಲವು ನೀವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ನನಗೆ ಏನು ಅನಿಸ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇವಾಗ ಏನೋ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಅದರಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೇನಕ್ಕೋ ಬಂದ್ವಿ. ನಂಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪೊಯಿಟ್ರಿ ನನಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಇದಾಗಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಫ್ರ್ಯಾಂಕಾಗಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಜಿಲೇಬಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ
ಶ್ರಾವಣ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ, ನೀಲಿ ಮಳೆ.
ಸೊ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪೊಯಿಟ್ರೀಸು ಈ ಟೈಟ್ಲ್ಗೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ?
ಹಾಗೇನಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಹೆಸರಿಟ್ಟಂಗೆ. ಅದು
ಓಕೆ,
ಕರೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಹೆಸರು ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ.
ಒಂದು ಜಿಲೇಬಿ ಇನ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ನಾನೇನ್ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ದಿನಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು
ಜಿಲೇಬಿ
ತರ ಒಂದು ಥಾಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು
ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಜಿಲೇಬಿ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಪದ್ಯ ಇದೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ. ಒಂದು ಜಿಲೇಬಿ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಪದ್ಯನೇ ಇದೆ. ಆ ಪದ್ಯದ ಹೆಸರನ್ನು ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ಗೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೀಲಿ ಮಳೆ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಐ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಕತೆ ಟೈಟಲ್ಸ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಅದು ಒಂಥರ ಇಂಪಲ್ಸಿವ್, ಅದು ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಹೆಸರಿಟ್ಟಂಗೆ. ಅದು ನೀಲಿ ಮಳೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ನೀಲಿ ಮಳೆ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಬಂದಮೇಲೆ ಆ ನೀಲಿ ಮಳೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಡುಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ನೀಲಿ ಮಳೆ ಪೋಯಮೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ನನಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಏನು ಸರ್ ನೀವು ನೀಲಿ ಮಳೆ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ನೀಲಿ ಮಳೆ ಪದ್ಯನೇ ಇಲ್ವಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಬಟ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಇಂಕ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಪೋಯಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಇಂಕ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಶಾಯಿ ಅಂತಿದೆ. ಮೊದಲು ಐ ಲೈಕ್ ಇಂಕ್ ಪೆನ್, ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಆ ಹಿಂದೆ ಸಣ್ಣಿರುವಾಗ ಒಂದೇ ಇಂಕ್ ಪೆನ್ ಬರೋದು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಕ್ ಹಾಕೋದು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಲೀಕ್ ಆಗೋದು, ಕೈಗೆಲ್ಲ ಬ್ಲೂ ಆಗೋದು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕೈ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ನೀಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ದೆನ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಈಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ವುಡ್ ಬಿ ಕ್ಲೀನ್. ಊಟ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು. ಸೊ ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ಇಂಕ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಪೋಯಮ್ ಇತ್ತದು. ಸೊ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಡುವೆ ಒಂದೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಪೆನ್ ಬರೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗದಿದ್ದರೆ ವಿ ಡೂ ಇಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್. ಆವಾಗ ನೀಲಿ ಮಳೆ ಬರ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ. ಆಗ ಪೇಪರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀಲಿ ಮಳೆ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕುಡುಗಿದರೆ ನೀಲಿ ಮಳೆ ಕಾಗದದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ನನಗೆ ಇಡೀ ಪೋಯಮು ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೀಲಿ ಮಳೆನೇ ಅಂತ ಅನಿಸ್ಬಿಡ್ತು ಅವಾಗ. ಸೊ ಐ ಗೇವ್ ದ ಟೈಟಲ್ ನೀಲಿ ಮಳೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಅದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಅದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮಹಾ ಘನವಾದದ್ದೇನು ಅರ್ಥ ಇರಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ.
ಘನವಾದ ಅರ್ಥ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ರು ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೋ ನೈಸ್. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಅನ್ ಇಂಕ್ ಪೆನ್, ಅದರಿಂದ ಬರೋ ಇಂಕಿಂದ ಮಳೆ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಂದು.
ಹೌದೌದು, ಅಂದರೆ ತುಂಬ ಘನಂದಾರಿ ಏನು ಅರ್ಥ ಇರಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋದು. ಏನೋ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಹೇಳ್ದಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ನೀವು ಸಹನಾ, ನಾನು ಜಯಂತ, ಹಾಗೆ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ನೀಲಿ ಮಳೆ, ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ತುಂಬ ಈಗ ಸಹನಾ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಅರ್ಥ ಅಂತ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೇಳಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸಿಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಜಯಂತ್ ಅವರೇ ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಈ ಹೆಸರನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಾ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ರಪ್ಪ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪನ ಕೇಳಿ ಅಂತೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಅವ್ರಿಲ್ಲ ಈಗ, ಬಟ್ ಕೇಳಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು. ಸೊ ಗೊತ್ತು ಐ ನೋ ಅದು ಆ ರೀತಿ. ಇವನ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ಎ ಟೈಟಲ್, ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಲೈಕ್ ಯು ಪದ್ಯ ಬರೆಯೋದು ಈಸಿ, ಕಥೆ ಬರೆಯೋದು ಈಸಿ, ಒಂದು ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಈಸಿ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಆ ಟೈಟಲ್ ಲೀಡ್ಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್. ಆ ಟೈಟಲ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡೇ ಜನ ಹುಡುಕ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ. ಹೌದು, ಹಾಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ ಅದು. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ. ಆ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ಕಥೆಗಳದ್ದು ನೋಡಿ, ದಗಡು ಪರ್ಬನ ಅಶ್ವಮೇಧ, ಅಂತರಿಕ್ಷ ಕೊಠಾರಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಅವರು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಹೆಸರು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡೋದು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಡೈಮಂಡ್ ಸರ್ಕಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಹೆರಿಗೆ, ಆ ಹೆಸರು ತನ್ಮಯಿಯ ಸೂಟಿ. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ ಆ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಸುತ್ತ ಇದೆ ಸುಮಿತರಿಗೊಂದು ಸುದ್ದಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲೇ ಆ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಹಿಂದೆ ಹೋಗಿದೆ ಕತೆ ಅಂತ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ದ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಮೊದಲೆಲ್ಲ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ನಿಮಿತ್ತ, ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೊಂದು ಕ್ಷಿತಿಜ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಬಟ್ ಜನ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಈ ಟೈಟಲ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಇಟ್ಟರು ಅಂತ. ಅದನ್ನೇ ಹುಡುಕೋಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಕಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಕಥೆ ಕೊಡುವ ಅನುಭವಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತು ಅವರ ನಡುವೆ ಈ ಟೈಟಲ್ ತೊಂದರೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So giving title is the most challenging thing.
You have done such a beautiful title. Nilimale agli, even Jilebi agli. Very, very unique actually.
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ evocative ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು. ಹೌದು
Evocative ಆಗಿದೆ.
ಹೌದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
That's what I have observed. And you are called as a rain poet. Is it not so?
For film songs ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
Have you done some dealing with the rain or what it is? Why always rain keeps recurring in your so many writings? And do you love rain? And what is what do you want to say about rain?
Rain is a very enigmatic experience for everybody. Like ಮಳೆ ಅಂದರೆ everybody likes, because ಮಳೆ means a change in the total environment. ಮಳೆ reset button. And ಮಳೆ is it is a premises for a new growth, new greenery. ಮಳೆ for cleaning old muck, old dirt. And see, ಮಳೆ means so many things to so many people. So it is need not be romantic also. For in Bombay, male is terror. Because if male comes, slums will be submerged in rain. I have seen people sitting, children, and general floods, and children protecting their books in plastic bags like this and standing on the cot in small houses, because there is water in which their houses are submerged. So rain is a different kind of a force on which we don't have a control. So we try to romanticize it, we try to stretch it, but rain means something new. It refreshes our mind.
It's a dramatic
Effect, absolutely, yeah.
When you can even talk about romance.
Romance,
As well as there are some problems also.
Yes.
With the rain also.
Yes.
There is overflooding. Then crops may.
Yes, absolutely. For a raita, for a farmer, rain is a very vital thing. Litmus test. Rain delayed means his life is destroyed for a year. It's like that. Rain even ಬೇಗ ಬಂದ್ರೂ ಕಷ್ಟ ಅವನಿಗೆ. ಅನಾವೃಷ್ಟಿನೂ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು, ಮತ್ತು ಸರಿ ಟೈಮಿಗೆ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ನು ಬೆಳೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುವಾಗ ಯಾವುದೋ ಕ್ಷಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಳೆ ಬಂದರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಮೊದಲು ಬಂದರೆ ಆಗಿರೋ ಬೆಳೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಯ್ಯೋ ಮೊದಲೇ ಮಳೆ ಬಂದುಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ rain is very, it again and again tells us how small you are. I like that. Man, thinks I have covered this, I have conquered this, that. But man is such a small thing.
Correct.
When you take off, you see the buildings, you don't see any people. You see forest, you see greenery, you see everything. You don't see, that shows how small we are. But still, man has achieved so much. Trying to understand.
A lot of ego.
Yeah.
When he brings down his ego.
Yes.
Life is beautiful for him.
Yes. And for himself, for himself it becomes good. He will start seeing people. He will love. Yeah, right. Otherwise he can't see any other than himself. So
I can see that, sir, in you, because the way you have written, or even when you talk, or your smiling face, your cheerful face always, it says that you don't have any kind of an ego around you, and you're so humble, you're so down to earth, and you mingle with everybody and you share happiness. The way you talk,
because you see that is easy to be.
Your personality.
Man, that is easy to be like that.
Yes.
Because you are born naturally like that.
Correct.
Why you make it complicated? And it is easiest thing to be simple. It is difficult thing to be non-simple actually. I don't know. It is like playing a role,
But then how so many people they don't carry this kind of a persona?
I don't know. I wish they would have, because it's like you wear costumes for a role, and you stay with that only. You should remove costume, ಬನಿಯನ್ ಶರ್ಟು ಲುಂಗಿ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಮನೇಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕಲ್ವ ನಾವು, ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಟೈಮ್ ಆದರೂ. ನಾನು ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ಯೂಮು, ಕತ್ತಿ, ಖಡ್ಗ, ಹೌದು. ಸೊ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ, ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೇರ್ ಯು ಆರ್, ಯು ಫೀಲ್ ಗುಡ್. So it's easy to be there, and then only you start seeing the real human world. Then only you can connect. And art is meant to diffuse first writer's ego. When I write, if I say I am writing, I am seeing, then I will not get anything. But when I get lost myself in writing to see new things, then automatically my ego
I
grows.
have heard in one of the interview you saying that writing, writing, if it gives some kind of a satisfaction for the writer himself, whatever he wrote, that is what is the utmost
Award, reward rather.
reward for the writer.
People nowadays, people are talking about just awards, Prashasti, sir, Prashasti. When I meet new writers also, sir, he doesn't tell me whether he's a poet or a short story writer, singer. Sir, last 2 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ 3 ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ, sir, he says. As if that is the main purpose, as if that is the way I'll get impressed. I tell him, don't talk about ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ, That will be there, ಅದೊಂದು ಲಾಟ್ರಿ ಇದ್ದಂಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು. But while writing, what a poem I get is the award for me. While writing, the short story I get is the award for me. And that pleasure, because I get evolved there. ನಮ್ಮ ಗ್ರೋತ್, ಒಳಗಿನ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಆಗೋದೇ ಬರೆಯುವಾಗ. Like a classical singer grows when she sings. If she doesn't sing, will she grow as a singer? No. Same way as a writer. And she, not only as a singer, as a person also, her world becomes wider and, deeper. So same way, while writing only, we grow little. And when you grow as an individual, at least little, then only there is some life coming into your writing. And it helps reader also. So that's how it's a collective evolving process. In fact, it is a celebration of a collective mind. Otherwise, why should I share it with you, right? It was only like, I should write it in my diary and I read and I should sleep.
That can't happen.
Yeah, but I am doing it. It's a collective thing. Yeah, it's like, it's like I have cooked something, I want to share with you, and let's go together. I heard some bird, I'm showing you. Oh, well, see that. See, it's like a collective pursuit.
We're all social animals.
Yes.
Unless we share.
Yeah. That's why we have evolved socially together. That's why that.
A writer evolves through continuous writing and sharing and then getting feedback.
And through him, the humanity evolves.
Correct.
Human mind evolves. It is a human mind. While writing, that soul is not Jayant Kaikini or it is not Sahana Sundar. No, it is the human soul, human this thing. Science is also like that. When a scientist does something, it's humanity which is evolving with him. For example, when somebody is doing for, let us say, Olympics, he is hiking, high jump. He jumped and he got gold medal. But still, he will tell them to put that bar little up. He has already won gold medal, but he wants to take another leap. So that he again stretches it by 1 inch or 1 centimeter or half centimeter. Because when he leaps, the entire humanity leaps with him. The entire humanity is jumping with him. So every human pursuit and excellence is the excellence of human world for striving. That we think evolution is over the moment the tail is lost and you have become monkey manava. No, now it's still happening and process. So in that we are all links. Everybody is a link in that collective evolution. Art is also a link.
So coming to the humor that you bring in onto the table whenever you speak, or even the spontaneity. That I really love, sir. The way you spontaneously come with some different kind of a thing. We wouldn't have even thought that, and that is really. How do you do that?
No, it is not.
How do you get that? We don't get it. We are
Then it's like that's life is very absurd also, no. And life is very absurd. I said means absurd because I don't like people who take themselves very seriously. I feel like laughing, sometimes. No. You are always smiling. Some people take themselves very seriously. Okay, let him take himself very seriously. But he wants others also to take himself seriously. That's where my problem is. So, my father had a great sense of humor. And in Marathi, Pula Deshpande, one of the humorists, in Kannada, YNK, greatest humorist. And that humor is not, like nagehanigalu, jokes. Not that. It comes from life. So I remember my father, when somebody came to meet him, he had came with his father. And he said, sir, Tande, he is my father and he is a freedom fighter, he said. My father said, is it good? He said, my father said, I am also freedom fighter. I am also married. I am fighting for freedom since 40 years. Still, see, these kind of things, it is not planned one, It just spark like thing. And that makes life very interesting. And during talks and conversations, what happens is, see, nowadays, we are fed up of conventional talks. Serious people, because within 5 minutes, we know it is going to be like this for another hour. So, especially with new generation, they have no patience. First of all, you should connect to them. By talking some things from their world, for a collective world, where, so when you tell them, then they feel, oh, he belongs to our world. He knows what we are going through. Then they will start listening to you. Preaching mode doesn't work anymore. We had enough of that preaching mode. I know something, you people do this. No, nobody will listen to you. Hey, Hogalo, he says in his mind. But instead,
do as I say, don't do as I do.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you, Adarsha, Gidarsha, writing on the wall, those days have gone, humanize them, the warmth, the compassion. So then suddenly we all become like, people in the same gang, like, then they become open. So writing allo hage, the humor has to come wherever it has to come. You don't have to take it very seriously. So
ಮತ್ತೆ ನೀವು ಕೆಲವು when I see your writings, ಕನ್ನಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲದ ಊರು, these are all very very unique and I really wonder what it means ಅಂತ. Like you always say, ಕತ್ಲೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ ತುಂಬಾ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ವಾ?
ತುಂಬಾ ಇದೆ, ಹೌದು.
ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಕೆಲವು ಯಾವುದೋ ಇತ್ತು, I forgot. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬರೀತಾರೆ ಇವಾಗ? ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇದೇ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ, ಕನ್ನಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲದ ಊರು. ಓಕೆ, so what do you mean by that, and why you have got that thought?
It's like poetry. I mean, like, adu kuda I struggled to give the title. Okay. Kathe bardbitte nanu. It's about that middle-aged boy, looking for a marriage, and see all those in a city, and his mother, a girl's father coming in search of him. So it was all very sad.
He doesn't have a mirror in his...
That's a small detail, actually. He small mirror. But Kannadi is like, again, it came like, like a self-obsession again, So what you really need is a narcissistic kind, yeah. I remember Dr. Rajkumar, when he was kidnapped by Veerappan for 3 months, he was there. After he's coming back, people asked him, how was the experience for you there? So Rajkumar ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅಂತಂದರೆ, see, it was, of course, it was hard in some ways, but he says, ನಾವು ಕಲಾವಿದರು, I am artist. For us, our heart stays in mirror, he said. ಕನ್ನಡಿಯಲ್ಲೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಆತ್ಮವನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ನಾವು. But there I stayed for 3 months without mirror. And I rediscovered myself, he said. ರಾತ್ರಿ ಆಕಾಶದ ಕನ್ನಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಆತ್ಮಾವಲೋಕವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಿದ್ದೆ, he said. I did my Atmavalokana. I searched for my inner thing in the sky.
The sky became his Kannadi.
Yes, sky, yeah. See, that is what, was in my mind, Not exactly there. It means Kannadi in the Bidugade. And there is another say when he was released. So, when Rajkumar was released, there was a friend of mine who was a journalist. Usually when you are released from, Veerappan came and gave him and he went back. So they asked him 2 questions. How are you feeling? While departing, Veerappan asked him, Sir, sorry, you are a big man, but I troubled you a lot. So do you feel anything from me? I want to do you something. You want anything from me? He said, ಏನಾದರೂ ಆಸೆ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು. ಆಗ ರಾಜ್ಕುಮಾರ್ ಸೇಸ್, ನಿನ್ನ ಮೀಸೆ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಮುಟ್ಟು ನೋಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಆಸೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಎ ಸ್ವೀಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. ವೀರಪ್ಪನ್ನು 4 ತಿಂಗಳು ಕಷ್ಟ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಹೊರಡುವಾಗ ಮೀಸೆ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಮುಟ್ಟು ನೋಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಹ್ಯೂಮರ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು ಮಗು ಅಂದರೆ, ಸಿ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಎ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್. ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಮಗುವಿಗೆ ಅದೇನು ನಿಜಾನೋ ಖರೆ ಮೀಸೆನೋ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಮೀಸೆನೋ ಅಂದರೆ, ಹೌದೌದು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಹೀಗೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಾಯಿತು. ಅದಾದ ನಂತರ ಬಂದರು ಈ ಕಡೆ. ಬಂದ್ರೆ when he came back, one of my friend journalist asked him, how do you feel now? Now you are liberated, you are free now. He says, I am free, fine, I am coming back to your sane society. But what about him? When will he be free? He asks. What a metaphysical question. See, I am free, but Veerappan is still trapped in the forest of his ignorance, in his own deeds. So when will he be free? He asks. See, this kind of things, they really liberate you. So that's why it's humor or non-humor. They are all two sides of the same coin.
I think Tirumalesh is your favorite poet. I have listened in one of the interview, I think. Yeah. So can you say something more about him? And why do you like him?
I was deeply influenced by Tirumalesh. Of course, there are so many. When you grow up reading and writing, there are so many people who will influence you one way or the other. Like Yashwant Chittal's elder brother, Gangadhar Chittal, he was another poet who influenced me. Then A.K. Ramanujan, who was in, I think, Chicago or New York. He was, but one of the finest linguists, one of the fine. He has written novels also in Kannada. Or main andre Hokkulalli Huvilla, Mattobana Atmakate, or Huvilla. You must read him. You must read him. So, Amale K.V. Tirumalesh. K.V. Tirumalesh was very close to our mind. And he's, because postmodern poetry ಮುಗೀತು, ಅದು ತುಂಬ ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಇಮೇಜರಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ, ಲೈಕ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ರೊಮ್ಯಾಂಟಿಕ್ ಪೋಯಟ್ರಿ ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ರೊಮ್ಯಾಂಟಿಸೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್, ಜನರಲೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್, ಆಫ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅರ್ನೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಇಮೋಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇತ್ತು, ಬಟ್ ವೆರಿ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್, ಲೈಕ್ ಲುಕಿಂಗ್ ಎಟ್ ಮೈ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್, ಹೌ ಅಗ್ಲಿ ಐ ಆಮ್. ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೇಮ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ನವ್ಯ, modern poetry. It talked about urbanization. It talked about alienation. All these things came in Kannada from Navya. So after that juncture, Tirumalesh opened a new window for us. It's about day-to-day life, like. So suppose you put a postcard in a post box, then keep wondering where does it go, how does it go, simple things like that. And he was something which, and a bonding between a cat and him. He suddenly stopped by a cat, Mukhamukhi anta padya ide avardu, encounter with a cat. Cat. He has some series of poems with cat, encounters with cat. So, they both look at each other. Then at one point, because he's a man, he's a tall man, he's this thing. So cat, takes a step back and it goes away. But then he feels sad. See, what did I achieve by sending it away like that? So, in fact, he feels the cat became larger than life. The cat just walked away. So, these kind of poems, and he says in one poem, ಕಾಯುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ಯಾರೂ ಕವಿತೆಗೆ ಕವಿಯೊಬ್ಬನಲ್ಲದೆ. So, nobody waits for the poem other than the poet. Yes, a poet, when you start writing, on an empty paper with a pen, that shakes that pen for some time. So you don't know when to start, what to start, what is the first word.
That is the worst time of a writer.
Yes,
Once he starts, it leaves.
Yeah. It's a most enigmatic point, ಕಾಯುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ಯಾರೂ ಕವಿತೆಗೆ ಕವಿಯೊಬ್ಬನಲ್ಲದೆ. So these are the lines, which have driven us. So, and one of the major, he has written.
So that means he feels that Kavita already exists.
Yeah. Kavita is there. It's like you should have an antenna. That's all. Kavita is everywhere. You should have an antenna to catch it. So, and he has written so many poems. Akshaya Kavya, Avyaya Kavya. Now his collection Avadha is reprinted. Avadha had influenced us in 1980s. That is reprinted now. And Aprameya. He has written novels, he has written short stories, all sitting in Hyderabad. And one of the finest minds of our times. So I want youngsters to read him. Yeah.
And as a columnist, you have written so many, like Bogaseli, Male, and the other one is
Gulmohar. Yeah.
And all those.
Yeah.
So can you throw some light on that, sir?
Yeah, because column writing was new to me. I mean, I never did, because I was writing poetry, short stories, which was once in a while, once in a 2 months like that, or when Diwali special issues come, Sheshanka, Prajavani, Udayavani or Sudha. They used to ask for us 2 months in advance. Then I will write from Bombay. Baratte. Yes, it is there. And their contests are very popular. They only are encouraging young writers. Katha Spardhe, Prajavani Katha Spardhe, Kavita Spardhe, Udayavani Katha Spardhe. These Spardhes actually played major role in grooming Kannada writers like me. I grew up writing for those contests, So it was, and all prize-winning stories we used to read, Then all great critics used to be on the jury. So that had influenced us. What is right, what is wrong, what has to be done. So that way. So column writing was new. This Hi Bangalore was a tabloid by Ravi Bedagare. Ravi Bedagare was my fan to start with, but he became a very popular writer, and he was, so I was in Bombay, so he said, why don't you write a column every week? Half page in the tabloid, not much, 3 pages for you. I said, okay. When I said, okay, I didn't know how tension that work is. Every week you have to send something. So I started this thing, and at that time there was no mobile. It was not a digital time. You have to write and you have to send. You have to by post only. So I used to, and I am a.
And this column was for
Hi Bangalore. I wrote for 2 years, almost 95 weeks. I wrote, and it was a real challenge to me, and I could write something really different than poetry and short story. And one thing I started, one thing which I should not be, my telling itself defeats the purpose. What I did was, whenever any columnist writes, he ends up writing about his certain things, because the moment Nanu comes, it's easy to write. ನಾನು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, Capt.Sahana ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರು ನನಗೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಹೀಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತಂದರು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಸಿ ದ ಮೊಮೆಂಟ್ ಯು ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ನಾನು, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೈಟ್ so many things, and without knowing it becomes a self-parading. I didn't want to do that. So I first made a commitment to myself, I will not use the word nanu. So that itself opened a new world for me. Because I have to look at the others then.
Everybody writes nanu.
I see you, Bogaseli Male, now it is in a book form, 95 columns, 3 pages, nanu. The entire thing, that gave me a different expression, and that gave me a new world. When nanu dissolves, you start seeing things. He could be a cobbler, he could be something else, and so many things. Every week I have to look for things. So Bogaseli Male gave me a lot of confidence in that column writing, and it helped me in my personal life. It was the most testing time in my life. I was in Bombay, my factory closed, and I didn't know what to do. Then I was working for ad agencies as a copywriter. Then from then I got a job offering by ETV in Hyderabad. I came there, I started ETV Kannada. I was on their content advisor. That too, I could not stay much there. Then we came to Bangalore for ETV. Then I left ETV. Then I didn't know what to do. I was jobless here on the eve of new millennium. I could not go back to Bombay again. Then all these things are happening. But this column writing every week kept me rooted. So wherever I was there, I had to send, I have to send. So that helped me a lot to keep my self-esteem up, Even I have written from hotel rooms, I have written from this thing. I have struggled to find some courier shop in Hyderabad by lanes to send it. Then I came here, see. When a lot of things were happening in my personal journey, not that I'm, romanticizing it, because there are millions having such problems. I mean, I should not be talking about it like that.
No, such problem is a problem.
Yeah. So, but this writing column became really, it helped me a lot, because suddenly I got absorbed in this world of my so many content of that.
ಬೊಗಸೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಳೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ
ಎಷ್ಟು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ, ಮಳೆ ಎಷ್ಟೇನ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಚ್, ಐ ಆಮ್ ಶೇರಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಯು, ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾಂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಚ್ ದ ಫುಲ್ ರೇನ್. ನನ್ನ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹಿಡಿಯೋಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಎವ್ರಿ ವೀಕ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟ್ರೈಂಗ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಚ್ ಸಮ್ ರೇನ್. So that's how it started. Then after some time, I edited a magazine called Bhavana. because again it is out of this.
Your own magazine.
My own means VRL publications, like Vijayananda publications. Vijaya Karnataka, they started Vijaya Karnataka, then Bhavana and Nutana. Bhavana was monthly, Nutana was weekly. It ran for 1.5 years. Then they were not interested to run these.
Now it's not running.
No, it ran for only 1.5 hours and closed. So that was also, shop was closed. Again, so since Bhavana started, I had to stop Bogaselli Malay because I cannot write to, I'm editor of a magazine. I can't write to another magazine. So I wrote Shabdatira in Bhavana itself for 1.5 years. That was another column. Then after some time, I wrote, I think, Kampina Kare for Prajavani for some time. Then I wrote touring talkies about only films for a film magazine called Rupatara. That I enjoyed doing because I'm a big film buff, This Mungaru Malay and all happened very recently. But since my childhood, we are a huge film buffs as a family, even in Gokarn. We will see every second show in Gokarn touring talkies.
Okay.
Any film it is Kiladi Ranga or Varamal Lakshmi Puja Phala or Edakallu Guddad Mele, you call it Erudu Kanasu, Hasiru Torana, all films, second show. So, film has, and Hindi films. Since ours was in North Karnataka, all Hindi films used to come. We have grown up listening to Hindi songs, Hindi films, seeing Hindi films, Kannada films like that. So, but we had a film that way, not a connoisseur kind of a thing. I'm a rasika of films. So, in that touring talkies column, I wrote about various aspects of films, like title cards. How many kinds of title cards you can have, no? So how they used to, the train, there was a film called The Train, Kannadadalli Bengaluru Mail anta banditu. A train, we watched it twice. I watched it twice only for title cards. It was so nicely sent. At that time, you online ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ. ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ಆನ್ಲೈನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಿದ್ರೆ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಲನೂ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. ಆಗ ನೀವು ಥಿಯೇಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ನೋಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಅದು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾನಾ ಜೋನ್ಸ್ ಸೀರೀಸು, CID 99 ಇನ್ ಇದು, ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕ್ಕು, ಟೈಟಲ್ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕ್ ಅಂತಲೇ ಬೇರೆ ಇರೋದು, ಥೀಮ್ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕ್ ಅಂತಲೇ ಬೇರೆ ಇರೋದು. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಐ ರೋಟ್ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಟೂರಿಂಗ್ ಟಾಕೀಸ್. So these columns helped me to evolve my non-fiction in a different direction. Otherwise, my non-fiction was limited to only stories or poetry. Non-fiction.
Non-fiction, not for stories.
I know. Non-fiction, I was only writing stories and poetry. Fiction.
Now you had an opportunity to...
non-fiction was a thing. Non-fiction,
That's wonderful. And then I have read your No Presence Please, where you have captured Bombay stories. And after that, now recently, your another book has come, Mithun. And No Presence Please, you are the first one, I think, to bring an international award to
I don't know.
And now with Mithun too. So can you say something about your new book, Mithun? Mithun too.
No Presence Please was it's a very unexpected
beautifully written, sir.
And
I read a lot of stories.
And they are all picked from my body of Kannada works actually. They are all picked from my Kannada books. I have published almost 7 books so far. Out of that, Tejaswini Niranjana, who was, in fact, she is a poet herself. She is a daughter of our Anupama Niranjana and Niranjana, the great writer duo. And I remember in 1973 or 74, I had seen her in Davanagere one festival. She was very young at that time. We are, I think, contemporary. She had published her first poetry collection in English then only, Liquid Sapphire it was. So she is a poet by basically. Then she has grown into different, now she is a faculty in various universities in linguistics, translation, literature study.
I think Harvard also she is contributing.
Yeah. She she is very widely read and widely, many people consult her for so many things.
Writer.
So she picked it. She wanted to do a Bombay book because she thought all my Bombay stories have something in common. They together will make a bunch. They will complement each other. Entire book will be like a novel with chapters. So that was her idea. So she did that No Presents Please. So it did well, like it drew attention, and especially after that prize which you said. So it DSC prize. It was US versions came, and UK version came. So it has done quite well and drawn attention of this thing. So, inspired by that, now the next bunch is this, Mithun number 2. These stories are also, they are all in my Kannada books.
Continuation of that.
Yeah, they are all in my
Something
books.
like that.
Yeah, means they were there when No Presents Place came also.
Okay.
I mean, they are all picked from my Kannada stories.
Okay.
And
So
Kannadadalli
in No Presents Please, you have chosen
16 stories.
and
Now again 16 stories
again
from 16 stories from my body of work, and maybe some more will come in future because I have got more than 40 stories in about Bombay. I might be writing also, and I have written about Gokarna and other places also. But these Bombay stories have some resonance, which will connect them together as a product. So it was nice for me also, because I have written in 80s, I have written in 90s, 1980, 1990, 2000. All those stories I am now reading in English when she has translated. And it was pre-smartphone era, it was pre-digital era, you know. So that it looks very interesting, you know, like how the life was there, how it has changed. So I also, for me also, it's a new kind of an experience reading them in English now.
Yes.
And she is a poet, so always I feel translation is safe in the hands of a poet. Because poet is dealing with unsaid. See, always writing is, you say something, you evoke something which is unsayable. So poetry is that only. You evoke something unsayable through what is sayable. So when a poet only can understand, because many people say my writing, whether I write short stories, whether I write a column, it's all in the same language. That's what they say.
When you write one sentence, it's poetic. Then if you add something, it becomes...
If you write a small, big line, small line, big line, small line, you call poetry. My friends tell me, tease me. And if you write straight away, it is column, essay. And if you add some characters, it becomes a story, they say. So I feel she is really doing I'm really thankful to her. Mithun number 2 it is. It's about the duplicate of Mithun Chakravarti.
Oh, Mithun Chakravarti.
Because there is
I was thinking something related to Mithuna Rashi.
No. Mithun is a name, Mithun number 2. So he is a fan of Mithun Chakravarti. He looks like Mithun Chakravarti. So everybody calls him Mithun. So ultimately he wants to join film industry and he becomes a dupe of Mithun Chakravarti. So then he feels sad, but he says, okay, let me enter the industry. But when during a shooting, suddenly he realizes, I am doing the real primary fight sequences. Whereas the original hero is not doing that, he is imitating me in close-ups. So then he feels he is imitating him. So that was a moment of realization for him, so that he opens and he gets out of that and wants to do something else in sports or something. So that Mithun number 2, it was written in 1985 or 84 at that time. So now also when I find that story very interesting, and it gives us an idea of how even the Bombay was there in 80s, 90s, 2000.
And the first story where two people, Shamlal and
Pyarelal, Keku and Pyarelal, friendship between two shopkeepers. One is a Xerox machine shopkeeper, another is a fruit seller. So how in a city, urban place, you know, there's a very open kind of a friendship is there. Yes.
Beautiful stories.
Thank you.
And Kaikini sir, I'm very grateful to you for giving so much of your insights, your knowledge, the way you write poetry. You're I can say, unique. You're completely a different writer when compared to other writers. That's what I feel. And thank you so much for coming here in spite of your busy schedule and giving a spark this opportunity to meet with you and interact with you.
Thank you, Sahana. Thank you, Capt.Sahana. It was really good to be with you, and the casual chats I like, instead of, because here there is nothing, we are not here to impress anybody. We are trying to see whether we can find something new in our talk. So I have been seeing your conversations. They have been quite good, and you choose people from different fields, which I appreciate. I saw your Sangeeta Katti interview from music world. So I'm very happy to be part of this chain. Thank you so much, and all the best.
Yes.
And I want you to write more.
I'm a great fan of you.
Oh, thank you.
You.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.